Chicago, a city of ambition and endless opportunities. For a long time, its streets have been full of dreamers, doers, and settlers. Among these people, the Italians arrived with a lot of hope and determination. When Italians first came here, they fled poverty from Europe, seeking a new beginning in the U.S. Here, in places such as Taylor Street, it was a culture of family, faith, and most importantly, food. But life wasn't always easy for them. Italians faced a lot of prejudice, labor struggles, and bringing their own customs to a new land. Despite these challenges, they persevered. The first Italian-American community in Chicago was located near the Merchandise Mart on the near north side, and beginning in the late 1850s, Italians arrived working as merchants, vendors, barbers, and other artisans. In the late 19th century, groups began arriving in significant numbers, and the population of Italians grew. They found wealth and success in the saloon and restaurant business, as well as real estate. In the 1920s, Chicago was the third leading city in America for Italian population, behind New York and Philadelphia. Later in 1970, Italian immigrant families in Chicago grew and were about 3% of the population, with over 200,000 residents. In the year 2000, another wave of migration came with more than 500,000 residents living in Chicago. According to the Encyclopedia of Chicago, Chicago's foreign-born Italian population rose from 16,008 in 1900 and rising to 73,960 in 1930. These immigrants were peasants from the southern regions of Italy and came to Chicago seeking jobs in the railroad market. Italian women came to Chicago and worked in sweatshops and factories in the garment industry.
Settlement and neighborhoods. Italian immigrants settled in Chicago in the late 19th and early 20th centuries. Groups of Italian immigrants, many from southern Italy, settled in urban neighborhoods such as Chicago's Little Italy around Taylor Street. Italian immigrants lived in approximately 20 settlements across Chicago. Little Italy was famous for Italian restaurants and businesses. Also, Little Italy was viewed as the premier Italian area in Chicago due to its size, prominence, and persistence on Taylor Street. Italian immigrants in Chicago were recognized for their food, culture, and cuisine. For many generations, Taylor Street was the location of grocery stores, meat markets, bakeries, restaurants, and vendors in the food service industry. Chicago's Italian-American community had many cultural and social institutions, including churches, schools, clubs, and organizations. For example, the Italian-American Chamber of Commerce was an organization that promoted trade, and the Italian Welfare Council promoted social services. Reception by the city. At first, Italian immigrants were not well received in Chicago. Instead, they were greeted with suspicion and hostility. They faced discrimination in housing and employment. They were stereotyped from the press as violent criminals, paupers, and wage cutters. Essentially, they were treated very poorly and seen as a threat competing with other immigrants for housing and jobs. They lacked formal education and could not speak English proficiently, so they had lower-paying jobs and manual labor. Southern Italians also received a hostile welcome. People called them lowbrow and made jokes about their stupidity. This negative view changed over time as many Italian immigrants became successful business owners and entrepreneurs who were wealthy and found stability in their careers. They also made an impact on society and their communities.
Italian immigrants in Chicago assimilated across social and economic, political, and cultural areas. They faced many challenges but made significant contributions and positive impact on the city's development. Socially, they had family and friends that made an impact and contribution to society. These relationships helped them find housing, employment, and security. Economically, they rose from a more working-class environment with lower-paying jobs into becoming successful entrepreneurs and business owners of restaurants, grocery stores, and cafes. Politically, they were marginalized and unable to vote, and did not have citizenship. Many were associated with the Democratic Party in Chicago. Culturally, many Italian Americans kept strong cultural ties to Italy, especially through food, music, and festivals in Chicago. Italian Catholic traditions like celebrating feast day and participating in church activities were a part of many Italian American communities. In 2024, the current Italian American community in Chicago has a strong cultural legacy and is part of the city's identity. Recently, on October 14th, 2024, the Columbus Day Parade celebrated Italian heritage in Chicago and the nation. Singer Paul Anka was the Grand Marshal and sang an updated version of the famous song My Way. According to the newsletter, We the Italians, the joint civic community of Italian Americans, collaborated with members of the Native American community during the Columbus Day Parade, working together to clear mistrust about Christopher Columbus and promoting mutual respect, peace, and unity between the two ethnic groups. Also in 2024, a new city study proposes a window of real authenticity and culture for Italian families in Chicago. This area is hoping to become the second Little Italy. Overall, the Italian American community is continuing to grow and has overcome many challenges of the early 20th century, achieving economic success, political integration, and cultural prominence.
Ciao guys! Today here we have Payton, Ava, and Jaiden.
Today we will be making vodka pasta and ricotta cheesecake.
Okay, so these are our ingredients. We have 4 large eggs, white sugar, butter, flour, cornstarch, lemon juice, vanilla extract, sour cream, and the cheese. Good.
And then here's the cheese. Preheat the oven to 375. Okay, so we got our pan, and this is what we're going to use to make the cheesecake. So we got our bowl, and what are we doing?
We're mixing 16 ounces of cream cheese and 16 ounces of ricotta cheese.
Now I'm adding the cream cheese. So we just added all the cream cheese. Now we're going to add ricotta cheese. The ricotta cheese and the cream cheese is added. First egg. Second egg.
Adding in the flour.
Lemon juice.
Now I'm going to add the 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Jaiden's adding the sour cream. Just added the butter and now we're mixing. Our crust and then we're going to pour it in.
The cheesecake in the oven. It's going to be there for 1 hour.
Now we're going to start making the vodka-less pasta. Is now cutting the onion. Jaiden are making rigatoni.
Now we're adding in the olive oil. Now we're putting in the onion with the olive oil. Putting on the pasta, and we're getting the tomato paste out for the sauce.
Not gonna get it in
The
there.
red pepper flakes. Okay, that's it.
Alright.
Adding the heavy whipping cream to the sauce.
And the sauce with the heavy whipping cream.
We're straining the pasta. Adding the sauce to the pasta.
Now we're taking out the cheesecake. It's perfectly cooked and we just took it out of the oven. How do you feel? Now we're adding the cheese. We completed our pasta and this is the final result.
Okay, so this is our vodka-less pasta, and we're gonna try it.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. It's really good. Thanks for watching. So we finished our cheesecake, so I will show you guys. Yay. Okay. 3, 2, 1. It's good? That's really good.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it was actually really good, guys.
It was really fun to make. It's really good. So thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Ciao out. Sorry. Okay, bye.